Hello, love. Today's vision is about becoming unrecognizable. Are you ready to feel transformed? Good. I'm glad, because you deserve to hear this. This vision was created with you in mind. By the end of this vision, you'll feel seen in your healing, affirmed in your transformation, and more at peace with the woman you're becoming. Now get comfortable, get a glass of your favorite drink, sit down, and let your mind be still. I want you to hear each word, each breath, and each pause. And let these words rest where you need them most. There comes a point where you no longer crave attention. You crave peace. You stop asking, how do I make them like me? And start whispering to your soul, how do I love myself better today? This is what becoming unrecognizable feels like. It's not a physical glow up, though that may come. It's the inner shift, the radical shedding, the invisible unraveling of who you thought you had to become who you actually are. Becoming unrecognizable means waking up one day and realizing you don't beg anymore, you don't chase, and you don't shrink to fit in rooms that were never built with you in mind. You stop auditioning for roles in other people's stories, and you start writing your own. Now let me be clear. This kind of transformation is not cute. It's not always Instagrammable. It's not about aesthetics. It's about alignment. You might lose friends. You might disappoint people. And you might even confuse yourself some days. But love, you are becoming. You are becoming someone your past self prayed for. You are becoming someone who can hold boundaries like a sacred ground, someone who walks away from chaos, not because you're cold, but because you're healed. There's a version of you that used to second guess every word, used to tiptoe, overthink, overgive, overdo. Well, she's tired now. She's resting. You're rising. This is the soft becoming, the quiet rebirth, where you don't announce your transformation, you embody it. They'll say you've changed, and you'll say, thank God. Because the truth is, you outgrew who you had to be just to survive. Now, you're choosing who you get to be so you can thrive. And that doesn't happen in one dramatic leap. It happens in tiny, defiant acts of self-respect. It happens when you delete the message instead of sending the paragraph, when you rest instead of proving your productivity, when you say, I'm not available for that anymore. Each time you choose peace over performance, rest over hustle, discernment over desperation, you're rewriting your story. And yes, it's scary. Yes, it's lonely sometimes. But my love, isn't it also sacred? Isn't it beautiful to become a woman who no longer fears being misunderstood because she finally understands herself? To be a soul who no longer needs validation because she's anchored in internal truth? Becoming unrecognizable is about becoming someone else. It's about remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. You're not too late. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're blooming. And it might not be loud. It might not be flashy. But trust me, the work you're doing in silence, the prayers you've whispered with no audience, the healing you've embraced behind closed doors, it's changing everything. One day, you'll look back and barely recognize the version of who you tolerated so much just to be liked. And when that day comes, when you feel free in your skin, safe in your choices, and steady in your spirit, whisper to her, "Thank you for surviving. Thank you for trying. I've got us now." You see, here's what they don't tell you about becoming unrecognizable. You will grieve. Yes, you're becoming new. Yes, it's beautiful. It also means letting go of identities that once kept you safe. The people pleaser, the overachiever, the fixer, the one who always held it together. Those parts of you weren't mistakes. They were protection, armor you wore in a world that didn't know how to hold your softness. But love, you don't need armor anymore. You need truth. You need softness that doesn't fold but grounds you. And when you start shedding those layers, you might feel lost for a while. You may ask, who am I if I'm not the one always saying yes? Who am I if I stop overfunctioning? Who am I when I stop defining myself by how useful I am to others? The answer is you are still you, just more rooted, more honest, more whole. You are not the version of yourself that performed for approval. You are not the version that swallowed her words to keep the peace. You are not the version that confused being liked with being loved. You are becoming a woman who chooses alignment over applause. And with that comes rest, deep rest. Not just naps and spa days, though we love those too, but a soul level rest, a quiet knowing, a peace that doesn't require you to earn it. Let this be the season where you stop fighting for crumbs, where you stop auditioning for spaces that dim your light, where you stop apologizing for evolving. Because love, your softness is not weakness. Your discernment is not rudeness. Your silence is not absence. It's power. You don't owe everyone access to the new you. Some people only knew the version of you that tolerated what you no longer accept. Let them be confused. You're not here to be understood by everyone. You're not here to make people feel good. You're here to be true to yourself. And that might mean walking alone for a little while. It might mean fewer texts, fewer invites, fewer likes. But it will also mean deeper connection, sweeter friendships, and a love, whether from another or from within, that doesn't require you to shrink to receive it. So keep going. Keep trusting the whisper that says, "This isn't who I am anymore." You're not falling apart, love. You're being rearranged. And when the dust settles, when the old stories are laid to rest, you'll look in the mirror and say, This is who I've been all along." Not unrecognizable because you've changed everything, but because you finally stopped hiding. Now, this vision was brought to you by Kizzy. If these words touched your heart, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who's ready to grow. Your healing deserves a witness. Let it begin with you.